listening to a special interview segment for the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Okay, folks, our guest this week will be appearing at CWF Coastal Mania 6 and Clutch City Productions Super Show 2 on Saturday, July 12th at 1 p.m. out at the Galveston Island Convention Center, located at 5600 Seawall Boulevard. You can get your tickets by going to ClutchCityProductions.com. He is recognized as the first Black World Heavyweight Champion in professional wrestling history. He was Farouk in the Nation of Domination and one half of the popular duo, the APA. WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. Ron Simmons. Ron, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, man.
We certainly
Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate you coming on. I know, your time is limited, and you don't really do too many interviews, but we certainly appreciate you coming on to the show. You getting excited to head out to Coastal Mania and the Clutch City Productions Super Show?
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. But I tell you, I'm really looking forward to coming back in the state of Texas, and particularly to Galveston. As you know, I come there many times throughout my career, man, and as a matter of fact, I was a native of Texas for about 4 years in Dallas, so I consider myself to be a resident of Texas somewhat. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be something that I will treasure for a while, because I'm in the retirement now, and I didn't have a chance, when I was on the road, to come back and meet and greet and talk to a lot of the people, particularly in Texas. So this is going to be the opportunity for me to do that.
Cool. Absolutely. Are you enjoying retirement?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. By all means.
Very cool.
By all means. It's taken me 5 years just to heal up.
Well, we're glad that you're healing up and doing well. I want to talk a little bit about your career. You started out in the football. You went from football into professional wrestling. How was the transition for you going from professional football to professional wrestling?
Well, I've always been a fan of professional wrestling, right? And because I'd always loved sports that particularly had to have some kind of physical prowess in it and athletic ability, so I'd always been a big fan. And I recall myself as a young man growing up watching, guys like Tony Atlas, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, and that's throughout my football career, I'd always been a big fan of those. And I thought, perhaps in the back of my mind one day, after a football career ended, and if I didn't go in the communications field that I would come out of college in, I would probably give it a shot. So as it turned out, man, I played 5 years of professional ball, and I decided to give it professional wrestling a shot and got trained by Hiro Matsuda, whom I consider to be was the best in the business at that particular time, and for me, it will be forever the best. And that transition for me, it was much harder than I thought it was going to be honest with you. I thought that coming from football, it would be somewhat easy, but I got to be honest, it was probably the hardest thing that I've ever done as far as requiring physical ability.
Definitely. And you had a very lengthy career, which, a lot of younger wrestlers these days wish that they could have a healthy and long career. We do have a listener question from Ryan asking, what kind of reaction did you get from family and friends when you became the first black man to become world heavyweight champion?
Well, at that particular time, it wasn't so much I think, celebrated as the first black world heavyweight champion. Then it was just me having won the championship at that time. And then I think perhaps as time went on, then it set in that history was made that I was the first black man to win the heavyweight championship. And even to this day, I have to be honest with you, I sometimes have to pinch myself, to make sure that that was real and that I have gone through the things that I did, because I consider it to be quite of an accomplishment. And to be honest with you, I'm very proud of myself for it, and the most proud of myself for the fact that it opened up more doors for other, not only young black men and women to pursue professional wrestling, but it gave encouragement to all young athletes, So that's one of the things I'm biggest and most proud of.
Absolutely. Paving the way for the likes of Booker T, Mark Henry, Kofi Kingston, so on and so forth. In particular, recently, I don't know how much you keep up with all of the wrestling products in the world today, but, Bobby Lashley was recently crowned as the TNA World Champion. And a lot of people are praising TNA for giving Bobby Lashley the title. And there are those who say that WWE is somewhat against having a black man as WWE champion. What are your thoughts on the people who say that?
No, that's not. I think that all the years I've worked with WWE, that opportunity is there for any man or woman, for that matter. If you're willing to work and put in the dedication that it requires, and you will get that shot. That I have no problem with as far as when it comes to that, because I've worked for Vince for quite a while. I know him. I know all of his family members, Triple H, all of them. So that's not true. If the opportunity presents itself and there's someone that they consider to be worthy, black or white, they will get the opportunity to put that belt on. And I'm certain that it won't be long before that happens, because as you look up there, we have quite a few black young men up there now that are, as this goes on, and within a couple of years and given more time under their belt, probably will be wearing that belt here really soon. So no, I have no problem with that. I think that's going to happen real soon. I say that's not true.
Absolutely. You look at some of the up and young talent that's coming up through NXT, and I think it's very close to happening pretty soon. You've had success working in tag teams like Doom with Butch Reed, also the APA with JBL, and you also had a successful singles action. Did you have a preference as to which one you worked?
Oh, definitely. I definitely will go for the tag. I mean, I had the most fun starting with Butch in Doom. It was there, but I think perhaps throughout my career, and then of course with the Nation of Domination, with all of the guys in there, I had a lot of fun. But I got this. My brother and native Texan, I might say, Bradshaw, it was the most fun. I mean, I couldn't think of a better way to wind down and end my career than being in a tag team with him. And I mean, it just was fun all throughout the years that we were together. And then not only to have success at it, but to be able to entertain the people to the fullest, and then to have them years after that is over to come up and say that was like the most enjoyable period of time throughout my wrestling career, and what they've seen in professional wrestling. That's what made it worthwhile. It was definitely the highlight of my career, I would say, being along after winning the world championship, and that would top it all. The APA, yes.
Yeah, like you said, talking about the APA with JBL. Like you said, it looked like y'all were having a blast. Could you is there anything like memory wise you had like the best memory with like JBL and the APA? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, no, it's just so many of them. Like I said, it was all. We had a great time all the way. We had such chemistry together, because we both had similar out of the ring, things in common, and we like to, he had a football background as well as I. We like to go out and raise hell in bars, and get insights for real, So it was just a natural, and that we worked well together, and it came across screen the way it did because that was us and in reality, and that's what made it such a success.
Absolutely. And they always say in the wrestling business, you take who you are and you just amplify it a little bit. Some of the favorite moments that I had with you in the APA was, you can't take it out of context as the door. You have to have the door into your office. Yeah. I love the fact that that's all there was to your office.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's those moments like that, and then you put it in with the, with the charisma and the, the comedic side that I and Bradshaw had, it just came across as something, that would be natural, for us to do, and add them, because you can look for somebody's, characters like myself, card playing, beer swirling guys, raising hell, for you to do something awkward like that, to come up and knock on the door, instead of just walking right through, right through the wall. You have to knock on the door, man. You got to have good manners, man. Your mother have to raise you right. Knock on somebody's door. You just cannot walk in. You have to knock. Yeah. And you have to also say who you are. Don't forget that.
Absolutely. And it had to be one of those rough nights where you show up to the arena, you got your gear, and they say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit you down at a table. You're going to play some poker and drink some beers, smoking some cigars. Can you do that?
Oh, what a tough life. What a tough life, man.
And what was going
You just don't know how much I resisted doing that, you know?
We'll cut you a check at the end of the
beer,
night.
Smoking a nice big Cuban cigar. I mean, you know, I just grudged every time I would come now, like, oh, God, please don't have to let me drink another fifth or quart of beer, cold beer, you know, and smoke this Cuban cigar tonight, you know? Yeah, but yeah, man, we had a blast, both of us.
And I know there was one person in particular that could definitely hang with you two, and a lot of people wouldn't expect it unless you actually knew the person, and that would be Mae Young.
Yeah, well, surprisingly to me, yeah. Well, but man, I got to tell you, not only Mae Young, but Moolah as well.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, well, and then you can ask Mark Henry that. I think he had experience with it, not only with drinking beer, but he might have had experience with a little bit in bed.
Yeah, having a little bit of fun. But, you mentioned earlier about the Nation of Domination and the time that you spent there. The Nation of Domination ended over 15 years ago, but it's still being talked about today. And there are still fans even hoping that you'll come back to help form a new nation. How does it feel to be part of the faction that still has that kind of lasting impression on fans?
You want to be remembered for something like that, you know? That's what you want guys and girls to come up to you and say. That's what makes it all worthwhile. That's what your career should be about, you know? And not many get that opportunity to have been involved in something, you know, that people come back years and say, man, wow, why can't they do something like that? That's what I really love. And the thing about it was that not only was I when I was doing that with the Nation and myself and everyone involved, we really got into doing that. We wanted to give the people the best we could with doing what we were doing with that faction. And that's why it had such a long-lasting effect. I'm really, really grateful that it gave the people the enjoyment that it did. And it's really an honor to be remembered like it is throughout the years.
Definitely, and people still to this day will sing the Nation of Domination theme, and it was a really catchy beat as well as with APA. You got really lucky because I'm a music man myself, and I think that the theme definitely helps make the success. I agree with you without a doubt. It all has to tie in together, and once you get that, it's up to you from there on. And you have to immerse yourself into the character and into your work in the ring, and what you put into it is really what you're going to get out of it. Absolutely. And you made a mention of having the fans come to you and say, oh, I remember this and I remember that. And most fans of today, the younger audience, know you for a different thing other than the Nation of Domination. That is you simply just showing up out of nowhere, saying one particular word. And before I say the word, I just want to know, where did the origins of you saying damn come from?
I think that started being catchy when I would go to different towns and I would be in a match with someone, and we would be doing something, and I would get frustrated because I probably can't pin them, and and things weren't going my way throughout the match, and they would hear me say damn, and then the people in the audience started just saying it, and that's really, and it resonated with them. And it's catchy because all of us at some point in our life, somebody comes along and takes us off, whether it be in traffic, whether it be your kids, whether it be someone at customer service not giving you the best treatment. You just simply have to say damn.
Absolutely.
Very catchy.
And it's just one of those organic things that took a life of its own, and you got your own T-shirt because of it, and every time every time you appear on screen, the fans just love it. They wait for it. You hold it, and then you say it, and it's just one of those great things.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, it's something that everyone can relate to, man, because there's somebody even in your household that makes you say it.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, is there any particular story on the road that, maybe you and JBL got into a certain kind of trouble or anything like that? Some kind of road story that you could share with us?
No, the only thing that I so many of them, man, but I can just simply tell you one that probably this involves Teddy Long, and Teddy probably won't like me telling him about this, but when you run into him, you might ask him. We were Bradshaw and I had been on one of our tirades out after one of the matches that night, so Teddy decided to have want to jump a ride with us, and so of course we made him the designated driver. We said, well, look, since you're going to ride with us, then we're going to make you drive because we're going to be drinking. So, and that's what we were doing, right? So we were drinking, throwing cans out the window, and then okay, lo and behold, there was a cop sitting on the side of the road hidden, saw us throw a can out the window, and now of course here come the lights. So there he goes, woo, 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 pulls Teddy over, right? So he comes up to the car. Bradshaw and I we're out of our mind. We're blitzed. So when the cop looks into the window, he says, do I smell alcohol? And both of us are saying, well, of course you do. What are you? Are you crazy? We're drunk. We are drunk, both of us. And Teddy is, you got to know, Teddy is out of his mind, like looking at us like, what the hell, are you crazy? Right. So the cop makes him get out and takes him through the sobriety test. And so we're in the car saying, look, we want to take the test too. Can we take the test along with him? So the guy says, look, I'm going to take all of you to jail if you don't shut up here, okay? That's what's going to happen here. So then he looks in and he sees the tag team belts and he says, you two guys are the tag champions, right? And we say, yeah, we are. So he puts the belts on outside the road, so the cops start putting the belts on, taking pictures with it, as Teddy is standing back there. He still has Teddy standing back there, man, ready to go through the sobriety test. And I mean, he is steaming by this time, all right? He gets back into the car after of course, now the car lets us go. He gets back into the car. He is so mad. We were supposed to be going to Cincinnati. He's so mad, he's going the opposite direction, and he drives us all the way to Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh. Oh, my
and we were in the back seat drunk, so we don't know any better, man. That's how mad he was, right?
That is awesome.
When you see him somewhere, you got to ask him about that.
Oh, we definitely will. That sounds like a hoot. Thank you very, very much for coming out, and we will definitely make sure to head over to see you at the Super Show and have many more stories to tell.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a great time out there. We're going to have a lot of fun. I want everyone to come out.
Definitely. Thank you very much, and you have a great night.
All right, you too, buddy. Thanks.
Bye-bye.